I began meditating back in my 20s. I didn't know at the time that I was meditating. I just thought I was watching my mind because I was always fascinated by my mind. And I thought, what's going on in there? Because at some point I went, I don't know what's going on in my mind. I thought, I really want to find out what's going on in there. So I started paying attention. And of course, paying attention, I learned later, paying attention to what's going on in your mind, that's meditation. And the thing was, I didn't sit down and do it or close my eyes or any of that sort of stuff. I just paid attention as I went through my day. I did also, before I went to bed at night, I would lie down and sort of, go through the day and kind of analyze and stuff. And that's a kind of analytical meditation or contemplation, some people call it. But the thing is that I learned so much about myself by doing that, by just watching what was in my mind. And I discovered that if I was thinking, awful things about myself, I'd feel really awful. And I discovered I had a really low self-esteem, which is not surprising considering I had a childhood of being, rejected and misunderstood and, typical how autistic people are treated, neurodivergent people in general. Now, I started to think about, more sort of formal methods of meditation when I was painting and I couldn't sleep because I was so inspired about the painting that I was doing. And I was learning dance at the time, and I knew that my dance teacher meditated. And I told her, I said, look, I can't go to sleep at night. My brain is just, it's just like going 100 miles an hour. And she said, just imagine that your thoughts are like leaves falling off a tree and just let them fall. I went, oh, really? She said, yeah, just like don't follow the leaves, just let them fall like they're falling through, the window of your mind. And I did that and it was like, wow, it was so simple and it was so incredibly effective for allowing me to not get, completely swamped by my thoughts. So anyway, I went on quite a journey of examining my beliefs about myself, which, as someone in my 20s was a really important thing for me to do. And then in my 30s, I found Tibetan Buddhism and I began to meditate a lot. Typical neurodivergent person. As soon as I get into something new, like I've got to really get into it, like fully, absolutely full on. However, I also did full on leave it when I discovered that my guru was abusing people. So yeah, bloody religions. Anyway, I never wanted a religion in the first place, but I did get absolutely fascinated by the philosophy and the practice, which was all, like a visualization practice. But anyway, the point is I did that for 20 years and I ended up, I've got a mind now that I can just drop whatever's in my brain. So I don't get overwhelmed. And when I listen to other people, who, particularly younger people who, have had problems that, have been misdiagnosed as various different things, and they seem to be really at the mercy of their thoughts and emotions, I repressed my emotions for years. That's another story. I'm just talking about thoughts for the moment. I guess what I'm saying is, for me, I look back and I go, well, gee, if I hadn't meditated like that, wow. It's really important to me that I can just take a deep breath, exhale, and just drop everything, gone, nothing in my mind, and I can walk in the forest and just pay attention to what's around me. Nothing in my mind at all. It is such a relief. And when I think back to how I was, as a very young child, it didn't seem to be such a problem. I was very in tune with nature as a young child. But I remember as a teenager, this overwhelming busyness of my brain, and, kind of a sense of flitting, here, there, and everywhere. Brain's just going, ADHD, boom, 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 and so I look back and I go, gee, I'm really glad that I learned how to meditate. It's been a lifesaver for me. So I know it's not for everybody. And I think you have to be, really careful who you find to teach you. But I do think that for neurodivergent people who've got very busy brains, it is worth the effort. If you want some relief, if you want to have some control over your brain, like if you want to be able to say, yes, I want to think about this now, or no, I don't want to think about this now. I like to be able to have that ability to decide whether I'm going to be thinking about something or not.